Jace Keller stands in his apartment shower holding a trembling alien cub covered in chemical burns. The cub's bioluminescent markings flicker weakly, nearly dead. Outside, corporate security drones hunt for the escaped test subject. Jace turns on warm water, gently washing away the pain, whispering promises he might not keep. The water runs red and chemical green down the drain. Outpost Helix is a corporate station on the edge of colonized space, where workers service mining ships and experimental vessels. Jace is 39, a maintenance mechanic who keeps his head down and fixes machines. He lost his daughter Emma 5 years ago to corporate negligence, inadequate life support in residential sectors, profits over lives. He carries guilt like a stone, believing he should have fought the system harder, should have saved her. Now he survives by staying invisible. Station's biotech division conducts classified experiments on alien specimens. The Verryn are one such species intelligent, cat-like predators with iridescent fur and bioluminescent markings that reflect emotions. They're pack-bonded and fiercely protective of young. Corporate scientists test Verryn cubs for resilience studies, torture disguised as research. Tonight, Jace was working late in Maintenance Bay 7 when alarm screamed. Containment breach. A test subject escaped. Security locked down sectors, barking orders to shoot on sight. Jace saw movement in the shadows. A small Verryn cub, burned and limping, collapsed near his workstation. Chemical burns covered its body. Electrical scorch marks blackened its fur. It looked at him with frightened, aware eyes. Protocol said report it. Security would retrieve it, return it to the labs. Jace knew what happened in those labs. He'd repaired the containment units, seen the restraint mechanisms, heard the screams. The cub didn't attack, just trembled. Jace saw Emma in those eyes. Saw the moment she looked at him in the failing medical bay, trusting him to save her. He didn't, couldn't. The system crushed them both. Security drones swept closer with thermal scanners. If Jace reported the cub, it returned to torture. If he hid it, he committed corporate treason, termination, imprisonment, execution. The cub's markings dimmed, dying. Maybe 30 minutes left. The cub made a sound between pain and plea. Jace thought of Emma's last words. Daddy, please. He made his choice. Grabbed medical supplies, wrapped the cub in thermal blankets, hid it in a maintenance cart. Security drones passed within meters. The thermal blankets barely masked the signature. Jace had 20 minutes before mandatory security checks. He couldn't keep the cub in the bay. Couldn't release it into the station. Only one place security wouldn't immediately search, his personal quarters. Insane. Suicidal. He did it anyway. Jace smuggled the cub through maintenance tunnels to his quarters. The cub was fading. Burns infected. Fever spiking. His basic medical supplies weren't meant for alien chemical trauma. He needed to clean the wounds, stop the infection. His shower was the only option. He carried the cub into his tiny bathroom, the same one where he'd washed Emma's hair, sung her songs, made her laugh. The memory threatened to break him. The cub whimpered. No time for grief. Jace turned on the water. Warm, not hot. Tested it. The cub panicked as he lifted it toward the stream, claws extending, desperate sounds escaping terror, not aggression. It had been hurt by humans too many times. Jace held firm but gentle. I know it hurts. But I've got you. I promise. Water hit the cub's burned fur. It shrieked. Jace's heart broke. He kept washing gently, removing chemical residue, cleaning infected tissue. The cub's bioluminescence flickered confusion, replacing terror. This human caused pain but not cruelty. Helping, not harming. Jace worked 20 minutes, washing, bandaging, using. Emma's old antibiotic cream 5 years expired, but better than nothing. The cub stopped fighting, started trusting. His door exploded inward. Corporate security. 3 armed officers, weapons raised. They'd tracked him through maintenance logs and security footage gaps. "Step away from corporate property, Keller," the lead officer said. Jace didn't move. Shielded the cub. "It's a child, not property. It's a test subject. Worth 3 million credits. Move or we move you." The cub clung to Jace, wet fur against his chest. Trusting him. Choosing him. Jace thought of Emma, of the moment he let the system take her, let roles matter more than her life. Not again. Never again. He looked at the officer and snarled raw, guttural, primal. Threat display. Protective fury. The sound evolution gave humans to say, "Touch this child and die." The officers hesitated. Something in their brains recognized that sound. Parent defending offspring, dangerous. Then the real alarm sounded, station-wide, hull breach. The adult Verryn had arrived. Not for one cub. For all their stolen young. They were tearing through Outpost Helix with the fury of an entire species. The station shook. Adult Verryn warriors boarded through airlocks, destroying security and liberating their cubs. The officers in Jace's quarters fled. Lace held the cub, waiting. His door tore open. 3 adult Verryn, 7 feet of muscle and fury, bioluminescence blazing. They saw Jace holding their cub. Weapons rose. Jace didn't run. Slowly knelt. Lowered the cub. Stepped back. Hands open. The cub stumbled forward, crying in their language. The adults rushed to it, surrounding it, checking injuries. One the mother examined the bandages, the cleaned wounds, the careful treatment. She approached Jace. He closed his eyes. She touched his face with a clawed hand. Gentle, deliberate, gratitude. She backed away, took her cub. The warriors retreated. But the mother paused. Placed a carved stone in Jace's handwarm, a marker, a memory. Then they were gone. Corporate security found Jace alone. "You're done, Keller. You'll be executed." Jace looked at the stone, smiled. Worth it, but execution never came. Outpost Helix was evacuated, condemned. The corporation's atrocities were exposed when the Verryn released biotech lab recordings. The corporation fell. 3 months later, the Verryn sent a delegation. Not for war. For treaty. They asked specifically for Jace. The stone was a kinmark sacred among Verryn, for those who preserved pack blood at personal cost. The cub he saved via Nash accompanied them. Healthy, grown, scarred, but alive. He approached Jace, touched his hand, remembered. The Verryn told human diplomats for generations. They feared humanity as slavers. Then one human chose a cub over safety, chose compassion when his species offered cruelty. They added Jace's story to their ancestral memories, teaching their young about the human who washed away pain and risked death for a child not his own. The galaxy learned, humanity's strength isn't weapons or technology. It's refusing to abandon the defenseless, even when it costs everything.